Huh?
Tweet at Andy.
Late tonight, apparently.
You know when Andy does his midnight fucking done tweets with the fucking red signal.
Fucking, I'll do that now.
Yeah. Sky are gone with it anyway, so.
I think this is live. I'm not too sure. Let's have a look. It's telling me I'm live. Let's see. It's Gav here. Fatback 4. Andy, you still there?
Yeah, I'm awake. Yeah.
Grizz, are you still there?
I'm there, mate. You're not getting rid of me that easy.
Alright, Andy will have a look on YouTube now and see if we're live. It's telling me we are live. We'll see what happens.
On the YouTube.
On the YouTube. Kev, you can see Kev at the bottom left there. Kev, welcome for the first time. How are you?
Evening, very good, very good.
Good stuff, good stuff.
As if Andy knows how to use YouTube.
Yes, we are live. It's on there. It's on there. Keep over, Chris. It's on there. Something great. Yeah, absolutely.
Modern technology.
Yeah.
We're live.
Yeah, we are live. Now, what are we going to start with? Let's start with Chris, Trent Alexander-Arnold out for a month. And as soon as he goes out injured, everything is, oh my God, we let go an Italian climb. The fella that's played a total of about 100 minutes this season.
3 games, yeah, for the last 2 seasons, yeah.
Chris, is it a big deal for you? Because for me it's not. I think Milner slots in there. Gomez is due back in a week or so. He can cover there. Fabinho can cover there if needed. People overreacted again for you?
Doesn't bother me, yeah. I think the overreaction, I think, Gav, comes from the fact that a lot of people are saying, well, we're not exactly getting a fee for him. Do you know what I mean? So if we were getting some money, if it was an offer we couldn't refuse, then okay, fair enough. But I think that's where the overreaction comes from, the rational fans. Otherwise, it's no big deal at all. He's got no future at the club. I remember having a chat with Andy at the start of the season. I think he'll back it up. And I said, you know, I don't think he'll play at all. You know, people are saying, oh, he's going to be the first choice fullback. No chance he's going to be the first choice. Okay, well, maybe he's going to be the reserve, you know, reserve fullback. And I said, no, he's not, because he actually prefers Gomez to him at right back. And then it so happens he prefers Milner to him at right back. So he doesn't rate him. We have to be honest and say it how it is. It seems as though he doesn't rate him. And if you don't rate a player and the player is adamant that he wants to leave, then he goes. You know, there's no ifs and buts about it. I don't think it's a massive deal. We can't just keep, every time there's an injury or anything, we can't keep saying, oh, we should have bought him and we should have kept him. It's football. That's what happens. You know, people get injured, you move on. He feels sufficiently covered in that area, and I tend to agree with him. Super fan, innit?
Yeah, super fan. You think you're a super fan? Wait to see who I have coming up now after Kev speaks to me. Kev, Nathaniel Klein goes there a couple of weeks ago, you know, and as soon as we have any sort of injury at the back, the reaction seems to be, oh, we shouldn't have done this, we shouldn't have done that. My argument has been, he hasn't been playing for us. We literally needed him against United, and only adrenaline apparently got him through that. And then he got substitute appearances. So, you know,
I'll be honest. I saw it first on Twitter, and I thought to myself, right. Immediately, the first thought was, well, Gomez is out. Milner slots in there. Camacho steps up onto the bench if need be. That was my very first reaction. It's like, look, the news comes, he's going, fine. You know, at the end of the day, there's certain players in our squad that we've moved on from. He's one of them. He served a purpose when he signed. He was a good signing when he came. He was an upgrade on Glyn Johnson. But he hasn't evolved into what Kyle Walker did when Kyle Walker went to Man City. He's always been a good, solid, dependable 7 out of 10 right back, but Klopp needs width in this 4-2-3-1 system, and he has to get it from both sides, and he has to get it consistently. If he's not going to get that, he's going to look to the next guy, and he's looked to Alexander-Arnold, and Trent has made the position his own. He's rotated with Gomez to keep both of them fresh, to keep both of them in the squad, to give Lovren his game as well, because at the end of the day, the guy is a good, solid centre-back, and the two kids are kids. You need to blood them. And we keep saying, as fans, that we have to trust Klopp. Well, trust the guy. The guy knows what he's doing. He's been around the block. If he says the guy is surplus to requirements, we've had an offer, and it's a good deal to go to Bournemouth, and Klein will play. Good luck to you. Thanks for your service. Happy days. See you around. I don't see the drama. I really don't. I'd be more worried if we picked up an injury, if it wasn't Trent that was injured, if it was Robertson that was injured, and you're left with Moreno or Milner.
Yeah.
Then I would be worried, genuinely. But I just think that this is a wage that hopefully we've got off the books, and there's a place in the squad now for one of the kids to come up into the first team squad and be available. I just think it's a no-brainer. Yeah. Same with Solanke. At the end of the day, you can attract young players and then hurt their career when they need to be playing.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't look good later on. When you want to attract the next Brewster, the next Solanke, to hopefully turn one into a gem. And if it doesn't work, you can't be a barrier to their careers.
Yeah,
it's a bigger picture here.
There is a bit of a picture, but Andy, from all reports, Klein pushed this move, to go, and Klopp, I've heard it said Klopp looks at the human element of it a lot, and he would say, right, you're unhappy, you want to leave, you want to play football, you go. Is it a lack of trust in the squad we have? I look at it and I think the guy's out for a month. We have Milner there, we have Fabinho there, we have sufficient cover. It's probably being tainted a little bit with regards to the centre half situation, but it's no time to panic, Andy, is it? We have sufficient cover there, and if Milner, for argument's sake, goes right back and Fabinho needs to play centre half of the weekend, we still have enough in midfield to put a very, very good midfield out and be okay. Or am I just being a little bit delusional here?
I think first of all, just have to start ignoring these Twitter reactions. They're all driven by some narrative. You see some people fume because now all of a sudden they're going to see Gomez maybe playing a bit more right back, and that means Lovren has to play, and some fans can't cope with that. Notion.
Love the way Andy breaks it down. Love the way he just broke it down. Yeah, you're right.
So and then then you have the other sort of reaction where it's like Klopp has some sort of he's a blind side to reality. Klopp knows what he's doing. It's all thought out. I mean, if Klein wants to go, he can't keep a player there if he doesn't want to. If he doesn't want to be, if he doesn't want to be there, he's not playing football. He's probably asked Klopp, "What's the chances of me playing some football?" And Klopp's been honest with him and said, "Well, it's just there's other
your fourth choice.
To bring in your fourth choice." Yeah. And Klein, what age is he? 28, 29?
Peak.
He should really be playing regular football. Probably better than Bournemouth, but anyway, it's better than sitting on the bench all the time or not being involved in the squad. So yeah, trying to stop ignoring the Twitter reactions and just ask yourself these things. Don't be too concerned about what other people are saying. Klopp has it mapped out. If he's fucking decided the right move isn't for it to happen, well then so be it. So everyone needs to calm down.
Andy, can I just ask him one question? I agree with you totally, but the only thing, as I said as well, is the only thing some people, and not the overreactive kids on Twitter, but proper people, right? I don't know what a proper person is, but proper people are saying maybe we could have dug our heels in and just said, look, just shut your mouth and wait until summer in case we have an injury crisis. That's the only thing, because we're not getting a fee for him. There's no win-win for us. So we've got to be selfish. I agree with you. If Klein wants to leave,
no, well, grizz, I don't remember. I don't remember that imaginary conversation we had in
Yes, I've got the tweets, screenshots.
But there, I think approaching the start of the season, we were expecting a few more exits. The likes of Moreno, the likes of Klein was on possibility. The amount of football that Trent played last year, and he's established himself as that and made that position his. And Gomez rotated in and out last year and done a fine job. So it was probably expected that Klein might move on. He would have known where he stood. Never happened. Moreno the same. Markovic. So there's a few players that were probably on the exit come the start of the season, but it never happened. So this is their opportunity now to move on and push on with their career. So what would be the point in Klopp trying to keep them to stay when the decision's already made, and when we have Milner, Fabinho, Camacho, Trent, Gomez, who can all play right back?
So you could have had an argument for that, Grizz, if we were still involved in two cup competitions, as well as Europe.
Yeah,
but we just don't have the volume of games to keep everybody happy.
No, I agree. I share the same opinion as you.
That's where that argument needed to be put to bed on Twitter. It's like, look, we're not in the League Cup semi-finals. We don't have FA Cup games coming up, and it is what it is. The guys came in, done a job. Thank you very much. We paid good money for him at the time. He wasn't cheap.
19 million or something, wasn't he? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, no, 19 was then. That was 10.6, wasn't it?
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
But it was solid money for a right back that wasn't first choice for England.
Yeah.
And we've got our value. We've got good bang for our buck out of Nathaniel Klein. And I think it's time everyone moved on now.
The thing with Klein for me is that if you look at it like, I take that United game and he plays, but I think we're missing Trent. We're missing Milner that day. He obviously wants Fabinho in there. So, and Gomez is out injured as well. So he's literally had to go to his fourth choice right back, in order to play somebody there. And Klein leaves, and then Trent gets an injury, and it's just with Gomez out. But I just think we have loads of cover there. I don't see it being a problem. I really don't. In a position where Nathaniel Klein, the one attribute Nathaniel Klein needed to play right back was a good range of passing, good distribution, and it's probably his weakest part of his game. Everything else, pace-wise, positionally, tackling, everything else he's good with. He's actually a good support right back for overlaps and stuff, but it's just his ability on the ball, I think that's done.
Like if you look at 9 games out of 10, Gav, we don't have defenders playing right and left back. They're pushed on up the park, and their main 75% of their game is to support the attack, is to get on the ball, to take the ball off the midfielders and bring the ball forward. So Klein is more of a defender right back. So he doesn't really suit the system. So what is the point at the end of the day? He's not working it. He doesn't. Klopp doesn't see him as working in the system that he wants to play. And there's so many players ahead of him. He's not going to be a huge loss. Look, I suppose when the news came out, I was a bit shocked myself, but I thought maybe Klein was closer to playing football for the team than he actually was. So that's when he
didn't end up at Cardiff.
Yeah, it's well, Neil Warnock went absolutely haywire, didn't he? And the best thing about Nathaniel Klein leaving, if you're upset about Nathaniel Klein leaving, always look at the bright side. Neil Warnock had an absolute breakdown about it, which is always a good thing for me. But look, for me, we've enough cover there. We'll get over it. We'll deal with it. The talk is Matip is back soon. You've Gomez back.
He's back. He's not soon. He's back. Matip is back.
Well, yeah, when he's back, what I mean is he wasn't back. He was on the bench the weekend, but the talk is he will be fully ready, for Saturday. Whether he plays or not is another thing. But
he's starting.
Oh, is he? So you were told this, yeah?
I DM'd you.
Oh, no, you didn't. That's another.
You haven't checked.
It must have been.
You haven't checked it.
It must have been the imaginary fucking PO box that you were fucking sending Andy's messages to in the summer as well.
Yeah. Yeah, Gav, look, he was on the bench last week, so he's got another week's training under his belt. Of course he's going to start.
Do you think so?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Oh no.
Yeah, I think
Listen,
Fabinho offers you too much in midfield.
yeah,
Fabinho offers you way too much in midfield
yeah,
to not
I'm coming around.
warrant
I'm coming
taking him
around.
at it.
I'm coming around to thinking that Fabinho is virgin on undroppable in midfield.
Yeah, well, we're coming into a run of fixtures now where Fabinho probably plays in all of them.
Yeah.
It's only the games where Klopp has kind of sat the second think. The bigger games where Fabinho, at this stage, maybe, I don't. Maybe it's a strong word, but a liability. Like in big games, in the Arsenal game,
you're gonna get some slack for that.
Well, it's just
liability for Fabinho.
It's just where he is at the moment. Like he gives the ball away in dangerous positions. Like
the pace of the game,
yeah,
the pace of the Arsenal game caught him out.
I'm sure as time goes on.
If you watch the Arsenal game, yeah, he was caught out, but I remember him being very isolated in that. Whereas, and since then, and probably a bit afterwards, we've gone to 2 in the midfield.
Now, Gav, even the recent Arsenal game, he tried to spray a ball across the middle of the park in his own half, in his own third.
Yeah.
Like it's just something you don't do. Like, and that's why I suppose he trusts Henderson to play the deeper role, because he knows he's not going to give the ball away. The idea is not to give the fucking ball away in your own half. Yeah. How can you be a team like that counter, that spend so much time on the counter press, if you're going to be giving the ball away in your own half and get countered when you fucking know nobody's back? So it's important to keep the ball in them areas. Look at most goals that come in the league. They come from losing the ball in your own half. They come from set pieces. So it's no coincidence we haven't conceded too many.
Do you know what it is, Andy? The thing is, sorry, Gav. The thing is, because Klopp's coaching style was so based on the gegenpressing, he's obviously knows about getting gegenpressed himself as well, and that's why he's so adamant on his midfielders to keep the ball. So even though he's been coaching it all his life, and he really favours it, he knows what it's like to be gegenpressed as well, and so therefore that's why a lot of people, when you hear people say, well maybe Henderson and Gini play exactly how Klopp wants them to, and that's why they get so much game time, as opposed to a Keita or a Fabinho who maybe are not fully on board with Klopp's instructions down to a T. Do you know what I mean? So that's a great point by me as well.
Yeah, I'm sure these players understand fully what Klopp wants them to do. Just their playing style or what comes as second nature to them might not be that type of play. So it just takes a time before it's supposed to get used to second thinking a pass when it's not on, a risky pass. Like that, Klopp spent so much time building this philosophy around trying to win the ball up high and getting forward quickly, getting a chance. So he's hardly going to be, when he knows that so many goals come from those situations, he's going to be very careful to keep a ball in his own half. Fabinho, I'm not knocking him at all. It's just that's where he's at the moment, and you've seen it a few times. Keita's lost the ball in his own half. Fabinho's lost the ball in his own half, and then you've got players who like Wijnaldum, Henderson, and Milner, who generally don't tend to. Milner did recently, but it wouldn't be a trait that you'd see with him too regular. He's quite solid.
Yeah, just a couple of things on YouTube here. Triple BSS asks, is there any chance of signing someone in this window? We will get on to that later. That's the reason Andy is here, because Andy knows about the transfers. Do you remember last year there was the mystery player? Yeah, get ready. We might go and do it again. Harry Wilson is being mentioned here by Dems. He says, surely Wilson has to be in Klopp's plans for the next season. He's just put in another incredible performance for Derby to help knock out Southampton. They've gone through on penalties, I believe. But, like, you are talking about players. Actually, Andy, I'll go back to you. Are you surprised you haven't seen Henderson and Fabinho together more?
How often have we seen them, actually?
I would say, I'm going to say once, without, just in my own head, once.
Yeah, no, I know when they've ended up on the pitch together, whether from a substitution or whatever, they've actually looked quite good. Like, it seems to have brought the best out in Henderson, freed him up a little bit. So starting games, I don't know. Ronaldo tends to start most games now, and rightly so. So maybe that's the reason.
Yeah,
I think we might see it this weekend.
Yeah,
we might see it this weekend.
Yeah, Ronaldo's injured, isn't he? Yeah.
Gini's got a knock, yeah. It's a good thing. I mean, the thing is, when Henderson's been coming off the bench, he's been doing what Kante does at Chelsea, that pressing high up, chasing the ball down with Fabinho in behind. What Andy was saying earlier on, with Fabinho flipping that, Fabinho doing that pressing role and Henderson sitting would probably work better from the start. It was just a case of whoever comes off the bench with the legs would do that job, and it'll probably suit both of them to have that with someone in front of them. And whoever was on YouTube saying about Harry Wilson for next season, if Klopp sticks with this 4-2-3-1, you can accommodate Harry Wilson in your squad.
Yeah, absolutely.
That system.
Let's have a little chat about Harry Wilson. Grizz, for you, he's playing in the Championship. It's a decent level of football. It's an incredibly difficult league to get out of. It's intense. You know, you have to be on it most weeks because any team in that league can beat anybody else. Unlike the Premier League, that seems to have caught adrift about 6-8 teams. But for you, Grizz, hand on heart, and no, I think, forgetting everyone, all other players and stuff, do you genuinely think Harry Wilson has a future at Liverpool as a first team player?
Unfortunately, no. And I say unfortunately because I do rate the kid. And again, it's one of those, what we were discussing with regards to Klein, Lallana, maybe, I don't know, a few others, where we were at a level. And so if you asked me the question sort of a season and a half ago, 2 seasons ago, I would have said yes. And the majority of the Liverpool fan base would say, yes, we need Harry Wilson fighting for a first team place. But look, we're at a level now and we have to start accepting it. We have to start accepting we're at a level where we're sort of targeting and sort of the very best in the world. We're no longer trying to target potential and sort of this homegrown, hoping for a homegrown talent to come through. I mean, it's always brilliant to get a kid, from the academy to come through, etc., etc. I rate the kid. He has not put a foot wrong. Everything you ask of a youngster going out on loan, he's done. The questions were always about him physically. He's gone to a fucking tough league, right? The Championship is a tough league physically, right? So he's performed week in, week out under a great coach. Consistency was leveled at him. He's been very consistent. So he's done everything he can. You what?
So why won't he do it?
Well, I'm coming to it.
Right,
I'm giving it context.
I bet you it's because he doesn't need halal. I guarantee.
No, I mean, look, the kid's done everything he possibly can. I just think we've moved up a level even to Andy. That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah. So he he's a fantastic player and he could do a brilliant job for someone like Southampton in the Premier League, let's just say. But for Liverpool, we're at that elite level now and we have to start accepting. I know it's difficult to accept for some, but we are actually, on the levels of Man Cities and your PSGs and etc., etc. So therefore, I don't think, he's got a future.
Yeah, but how many players has Klopp improved since he's come in? Those
every single one, bar Lallana.
Yeah. Right. So look at the massive difference he made to Chamberlain, for instance. How do you know he can't do that to Wilson?
No, I don't. But I'm saying, in my opinion, I hope he does because I do like the kid and he will save us millions. But I just don't think.
But you pointed out you pointed out every fucking attribute under the sun as to why he could. And then you said you just don't think he has the quality because we've moved up a level. But if he joins in with the squad and he's training week in, week out with the first team and starts getting his chances, how do you know that he's not going to come up to that level?
I don't.
He doesn't know.
I think he's got it.
I'm just giving my opinion. Yeah. I don't know. He might do. He might be brilliant. You're right, and I hope he is. But I just, Gav asked me the question. I don't think he's got a future there.
Because
the reason I think he does next season is purely and simply the volume of transfers that we're going to be doing in the summer. With the amount of outs that we're going to have. You're going to need players in and around the squad that can do a job, that can work along that front three.
It's definitely a defining season for him. We've got to make a decision on him.
He can do a job. You know, I mean, we're going to be bringing in, I think, at least 3 first-team players, and so at least 2 backup players in the summer, as well as having some of the loan players coming back. You still got Brewster is going to be chomping at the bit when he comes back next season. He's been made promises as well. So at some point, we're going to have to show faith with some of these kids and give them their head. We've asked him to go on loan. He's done his job.
Oh, he's done, yeah.
You know,
He's done his bit.
The very least we can do is give him 6 months in and around the first team.
So go on, Andy. You think he's got a future out?
Absolutely. If a player goes out on loan, it's only for 1 or 2 reasons. Well, there's a few reasons. Get him off the wage bill. That's not the case. He's not on big money. Give him his last chance to prove himself that he may be, integrating into the team. So on that account, he's done everything possible. The only reason he won't get a chance at Liverpool now is because Klopp has written him off before he even left. But he's gone out there. He's being tested. He couldn't have done any more possible in the half season with Derby. And it's a team that are playing excellent football. It suits it. Absolutely perfect transition into the Liverpool team. I'd give him the rest of the season there. All he has to do is keep plugging away and doing what he's doing. Get him into the first team for pre-season and have him involved. I've absolutely no doubt in my mind that he'll be at Liverpool next season and getting his chances, whether it be in the Cups or whatever. But he'll get a chance at Liverpool next season. So we'll find out. So that will be the acid test. He's done everything.
If not,
everything possible.
Sorry, Andy. I was going to say, if not, he's a serious asset.
Yeah,
absolutely. He will play for Wales.
He has signed.
He will play for Wales. He will get some good money. We will get a good return on it.
Yeah,
it's a win-win for us.
He signs a new long-term deal in the summer. Now he goes to Derby. For me, I think he has a chance. I genuinely do. I think, if he's looking to play across that front line, like we always talk about Adam Lallana for argument's sake, and we're saying, he's always injured and he's out at the minute again. I think he goes in the summer just as a side point to all this. But we always look at him and we say, Lallana can't get into that midfield, and he hasn't really got the pace or the power, to hurt players or teams when he plays up front or plays off either side, of a front three. I think Wilson could be that player that could come in and be. Listen, Wilson's going to be quite happy to go in there and say Salah, Mane, Firmino's the front three. Shaqiri might be the next in line, but I'm the next in line after that. But it all depends on what they bring in the summer. I'd be quite happy for Harry Wilson to be that young player across the front three. That's an option next season. Brewster, you make promises to Brewster, that's fine. Brewster looks an exceptional talent from what I've seen of him, which is a limited amount. There's probably 3 to 4 games I've watched him in, and he's been exceptional in them games. But you never know with players like that. How many we've seen loads of strikers over the years, not only for Liverpool, where they come along, they're the best thing since sliced fucking bread.
Who was that short left-footed one? Who was that short left-footed one? Who scored fucking million goals in the reserves? Oh, come on, Kev.
Adam Morgan.
Yeah. Adam Morgan.
He's currently just after leaving.
He does deliveries. He does deliveries for me now.
Does he?
Yeah.
I say he's
he had a chicken.
Now we know where the tips are coming from.
Yeah. Big bag of popcorn on the way home from and all, big bonus. But you do see strikers like that. Look at Makeda at United. Makeda at United scores 2 goals in 08-09. He's the best things around, and he's gone. We're in a year, So you don't know these players. For me, Harry Wilson is more proven than Ryan Brewster. It's just simple. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think
he's 2 years further down the road as well.
Yeah, he's 2 years further down the road. He's had a couple of long spells, which are being successful. Hull City and now Derby. I think he was out before that. He might have been at Crewe and it didn't work for him. But the last 2 have been very successful. So if anyone has a chance, he has. There's not many in the academy that you'd say, they're ahead of Wilson. They're ahead of Wilson. There's not many there.
No, he's out going under 23 football now.
Yeah.
He'll never go back to that, no matter what happens.
Yeah.
If he doesn't make it in the first team squad or the first team squad with us, he'll be sold on and he will play mid-table Premier League next season, irrespective.
Yeah, absolutely.
I look at David Brooks at Bournemouth, and I think when you watch him for Wales, we've watched him against Ireland. He's got something. His left foot is like a golfer with a swing. It's just a reliable action.
Yeah.
With a dead ball, he hits it sweet. He's the same from outside the box. He's just got something, and we don't have that. We don't score goals from outside the box. Since Phil left, it just doesn't happen. We don't have that threat. And it's something that when you often hear Souness when he talks on Sky about we were trying to sign 3 midfielders, one of them being Fekir, because we don't have that option. He got 2 out of 3, and we do miss that at times.
Great point. Yeah. That's 2. That's me and you with great points. We're just waiting for Andy's great point.
What?
Well, okay. When Ox gets fit, he's gonna kind of fill that role that I know, like, kind of plays a bit more central than Wilson does. But he's one of those ball carriers. He's one of those that makes teams backpedal, puts them on their back foot, and he can unleash a shot as well. So we are missing Ox a lot for that in that department.
Yeah,
that absolutely. Getting back to Gaz's point, you have to have players around the squad that are prepared to sit and wait for their chances. He's a young player. I know he's not getting any younger, but it is time to kind of have a chance. But he's definitely got the quality for us to have a look.
Yeah. Right, move on. I want to go off Liverpool for a minute because this story has been doing the rounds for the last couple of days. It's amused me greatly. And it's Bielsa at Leeds. And he's sending lads into training grounds and bushes, and he's spying, and he's absolutely off his bracket, this fella, and I love him. People being surprised that he's off his bracket is a little bit mad because he's always been like this. I think his nickname is El Loco. That says it all. But Grizz, I'll come to you first. There's no problem with spying on other teams, isn't there?
Of course not. Who gives a fuck? Everyone does it.
Yeah.
There's scouts, there's spies, there's people in working and analysing.
And the fella that tells those Octavius that that gets all the news. Sure, he's down there in Melville's car park spying.
Well, this is how we get our news. This is how we do it. This is how we work towards it. But someone educate me here and tell me the difference, right, in a spy, right, and an analyst who works for you and goes around watching the opposition. In this context, maybe I'm being naive.
An analyst walks up to a turnstile, goes in the ground, sits up in the stand, has a good look at it, and everyone knows he's there. A spy is in commando gear with black paint all over his face in a bush somewhere around Derby County's training grounds. That's the difference.
But my point being, right? You didn't give it context. I get what you're saying, and I agree with you. But
you're supposed to give a context.
But my point,
give your point context.
My point being is, not every analyst sits in the stands, goes to the turns. Goes to the turns. There is analysts that go to training. They don't just watch matches per se. They also watch, other coaches coaching, etc., etc. Their drills, their tactical setups. It's, as Bielsa says, it happens everywhere around the world. Why are you fucking guys getting a bit titty for it about it? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, in all fairness, sorry, Gav. Go
on. Go ahead, Kev.
No, it doesn't matter what the sport is, whether it's cricket, golf. There's analysts in everything. If you're down here, where I am in Cork, I guarantee you, there's people going to watch each other's club games, to watch other players, and they're watching them training. They're asking their mates, "What's going on with this fella? What does he do? Does he go inside, outside?" This is common stuff. The thing is, it's because it's England and it's perceived we don't do that sort of thing over here.
Yeah.
Or shit. Yeah. They've been doing it for years. My mate plays for this club. I'll phone him. Do you reckon XYZ is playing at the weekend? How's he looking at training? Has he been ill? Is he over that bug? That kind of shit has been going on for years. It's a nod and a wink, a quiet word. At the end of the day, all Bielsa did is come out and said, yeah, and by the way, this is how you do it.
Yeah, and
this is my analysis of Derby County.
and the story
you had put it on video.
I don't know how true it is.
That was class,
I don't know how true it is, but apparently he got his daughter's boyfriend to do this spying. I don't know how true that is. If that's true, it just brings the story to a whole new level. You want to go out with your daughter? Well, listen, I have a little job for you first. You need to prove yourself.
Pass the litmus test.
Yeah, I absolutely love it. But Andy,
just be careful where you point that. Be careful where you point the camera lens. Like, don't drift to the right where you're looking in the bedroom of some girl up in the second floor of the housing estate. Like, you get arrested for that shit.
Andy,
in any country.
Andy, for you, you're behind this point, so French, you're all right with it.
Yeah, it's all good.
Yeah. Fucking biggest spy himself.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's it, Andy. That's it. You're just happy.
Yeah, 100%. I'm behind anything that like, you know, kind of legal cheat, you know, dark arts and all that.
Yeah.
That's genius as far as I'm concerned. Like, I love that story about Marino when he was suspended and he came in the fucking cart with all the gear.
Oh yeah, the washing
basket.
Yeah. Love all that shit. So yeah, that's I think that's quality that happens at such a high level. Like, we all know, you can walk in around, like, not League of Ireland, but, like, you know, Leinster Senior League, say, level, and have a look at a train and spy from bushes or whatever, get a bit of an insight, and it's, you know, all them dark arts happen at very, very low levels of football. To think that at such a professional level, when all the information's kind of available to you, you know, video footage is all recorded, everything's on camera. To think that they'd be doing these little snide little things as well, just like in the amateur game, I think it's class. So yeah, happy days.
All right.
What are they really going to find out? Corner routines. You know, who marks who? Who's set up to be in what position for a corner? Which way is Salah taking his penalties this week? They won't really learn a lot. But
but what do you think?
Small percentages, isn't it?
What do you think Klopp has taken from the opposition when he's watching them warm up?
You know, that sort of thing. I don't know whether I look at that and I just think he's trying to. I don't think he's taking much out of it, but I think he's trying to psych them out, and he's trying to make them think that he is actually spotting something and making them second guess themselves for a game. You know that way. But let's be honest about it. If you watch a warm up of a Premier League team, or, you know, any team at the highest level, they've trained all week. They come out, they walk on the pitch, they do a few jogs, a few shuttles here and there, a bit of ball work, jumping up and down, and they turn around and walk back off again. You know what I mean? They're highly trained athletes that will come on. They're literally only warming up their muscles before they go. You're not going to see them, oh lads, we forgot to do that corner routine on Friday. Listen, Ollie's in the box there. We sort this out in front of the cop before we fucking.
Let's practice setting up this ball.
Do a quick 10-3 for fuck's sake. Do you know what I mean? That's not happening. It's just.
I think so. I think sometimes he recognises a drill that's being done that might kind of give away something that's going to happen on the pitch.
Maybe a formation.
Yeah.
Maybe a formation change. You know, are they going to play three at the back? Are they going to?
He's actually been asked that, and he's not going to give the exact reasons why he does it, whatever. And he always laughs everything off. He says, doesn't he? But he sometimes, I think in one interview that he said something about he can see sometimes a fear in players, or if he's unsure, players confident. You know, just before the game, if the crowd's, you know, getting to him, you know, little things like this. And, you know, he's not as a cheerleader type manager as many make out. He's a very calculated man. And this season, the way, you know, drifting away slowly, but the way we're playing has proved he's gone up so many levels in my estimation in terms of how good a coach he is. You know, everyone thinks he's this big fist pumping, hugging German, you know, that hasn't got much tactical, you know, bring back Vuvac, who was the brains, but this guy's got a fair bit of brain himself.
Yeah, he does, and
it's good to know, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, I'm glad we confirmed that because
Thanks for that, Grizz.
Grizz is going to definitely claim that as a second good point. What was going to say? 5 minutes left. Sorry. This guy Triple BSS, I'm just going to call you Triple because I can't keep saying BSS, but he says let's send Markovic to spy on Palace. The twat needs to do something for his paycheck. That twat is actually away on holiday.
No one knows what he looks like anymore.
He's away in a different country from what I can make out, so he's not doing any sort of spying on anyone.
He's getting an operation on his knees.
Yeah.
So they bend.
So they bend. He's getting fluid removed from his knees and it's being injected back in with a slight hint of WD-40 off him. Come here, 5 minutes to go. Transfers. Let's talk transfers. Because it is January, people want to see them happen. People expect to see them happen. Some people don't. Rumours are flying around all over the place. Fekir started again today. I absolutely love it.
I could see our hand being forced with Harry Kane's injury. I wouldn't be a bit surprised if Tottenham went in for someone that we might be looking at.
Do you think so?
I wouldn't be surprised. Llorente wants to go back to Spain in the summer.
Yeah,
they have to sign someone.
Yeah, I just can't see him. I just can't see him spend the money. I think, like, I know it's a very simplistic thing to look at, but they've gone about 400 million over fucking budget on that stadium. You know, and that is a serious amount of money no matter who you are. I can see them being...
Get the Talaboys in to do it, or what? Did they get the Talaboys in to do it, or what?
I don't know what he done.
That's some serious...
Wasn't it Steve-O's new construction company that was involved in that?
Yeah. Andy done the electrics on it. And they're just checking it out now to see what's going on. But no, it's literally, I think that was 600 million and it's close to $1 billion now. And it's now it'll be 7 months behind.
But it's out of this world, lads. Listen, I've had a tour of it. It's out of this world.
Yeah.
The other one that could force something is Arnautovic. If he goes from West Ham, I think I said it to you earlier, Grizz. If he goes from West Ham, I wouldn't be surprised for West Ham maybe to come in for Origi. He'd be the type of player who they would be interested in at a fee.
Yeah, you see,
it's possible.
Somebody's there saying they heard Spurs have 50 million for this window. 50 million.
That was me.
Was that you saying that? Okay, so are you triple BSS on the YouTube?
No. What I said is I said that Pochettino's got 50 million to spend. I wouldn't mind taking half of that for Divock Origi.
And the rumours are that they're interested in Fekir. That's started back up. I'll go around the trees. We'll all have a little word on this, but and you can name whoever you want or whatever. You can do whatever you want. Nobody gives a fuck on this podcast. So let's be honest about it. Andy, I'll start with you first. Do you see anybody coming in January?
Yeah, there's someone coming in. All right.
Mystery player.
No.
All right. Okay. And when you say somebody's coming in, do you just believe that in your own head?
No. Fekir's sign 100%.
Yeah. Okay. You heard it here first. Andy Young at AY Private Eye and all that. You know where he is. Everyone knows him.
It's 100% happening.
100% Fekir is done. Is it done? Is it max kind of levels done, or is it?
Yeah. Just the only thing left to do is book the flights.
Yeah.
And so they're just trying to get the cheap enough flight, and then it's all happening.
Cheap enough flight. Yeah.
So.
Yeah, cheap enough
just
flight.
They went up. They went up. So.
Yeah, you see, that's because Liverpool are playing the weekend. The flights into Liverpool are mad money when Liverpool play. So if he flies over next week, if he flies over next week when the cup is on, he'd actually get into Liverpool for about 48 quid a return.
He only needs one way though.
Yeah, but he'd have to go back and get the gear out of his gaff. Like Ryanair charge you a fortune to bring all your stuff on their flight.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that 10 kilo pack don't get anywhere.
Grizz knows a fella that sells big estate cars. He could give him a lend of one of them to go back and get his gear. You reckon, in all seriousness, Andy, nobody in the window, no?
Fekir.
Okay, Fekir we're going with. Grizz. Here we go. Grizz, do you reckon anybody comes in January?
No.
Andy, go on that pizza. You'll have enough time to make it. Go on.
I don't think anyone comes this window. I think it's surprising how many players were kind of sort of being linked with letting go. Considering we're not going to bring anyone in, and especially with the kind of injuries we're picking up. As I said, Spurs, sniffing around Origi. I believe if we get a decent enough offer, we'll let him go in this window. As much as people will be outraged, oh my God, we're letting another squad player go. But come on, Origi is the original sort of Makeda for us. He scored that amazing goal. We'll remember him forever against Everton. And, we'll happily take 20 million for him plus. So, but in terms of incomings, I can't see anything personally. But I can see progress being made for the summer in terms of tying, making sure, like, sort of, we have their word type thing, But no, I can't expect. I mean, there's always fans crying out for incomings as soon as the window opens. But we all know Klopp just doesn't work like that, does he?
No, he doesn't really. You have to go back to Coutinho and Sturridge in January 2012, if I'm right.
Yeah.
Was it January 2012? Might have been 12, 14. No, January 2014. Sorry. You'd have to go back and look at for significant. I know Van Dijk is a January window, but I don't really count that because
no, that doesn't count. Exactly. The deal was done in the summer.
It should have been done in June the 3rd when everything broke.
If you guys remember when Klopp came in, it was one of the things that he was asked about in his first January window. He said he hated it. He built his squad in the summer for the season, and unless something disastrous happens, like the first one, he had Colker, the Van Dijk one should have happened in the summer and didn't, so he went back and got him. Other than that, he's not really gone out of. If we were going to sign anyone, the legwork would have been done in November, and it would have been in on the 1st or 2nd of January, ready to go.
Well, that's what I mean, Kev. There's plenty of legwork being done. I'm pretty certain.
I think for the summer.
Are we saying then that any January signing, apart from Andy's May Fekir signing, because that's the legwork's being done there, so that doesn't really count, though. Are we saying that any kind of signing in January will be a reactionary thing?
I think if someone forces our hand on Timo Werner, I think we go and get him.
Yeah, because you have to remember.
Other than that,
this isn't Football Manager. It's not. Oh, who will I buy? Like, they'd have a list of 10 players and they'd be telling their representatives, listen, if that happens, we want to hear about it. That's just the way it goes.
The relevant people will be told.
Promises will be made.
They've been told.
YMCA. But
I don't
seems to make a lot of sense, doesn't he?
Who?
Werner
does, because of the outgoings that have happened, but I still think he goes to Bayern Munich. He guarantees.
No.
I think he does because he guarantees his German place, and he doesn't. It's not a massive move for him. But the only thing is, are Leipzig going to sell to Bayern? But then they'd be left with no choice at a certain stage as well. You see.
I don't know how much cash Bayern are in the middle of rebuilding. But Ribery and Robin are going gone. They're looking at the younger generation coming through. Whether they want to go with Timo Werner and sell Lewandowski, maybe. But they have an unstable manager as well.
Yeah.
In all fairness.
Timo Werner is Klopp's number one forward.
Yeah,
preferred striker. Okay. Number one.
All right. Well, I think we do sign someone in January because I refuse to let you fuckers drag me down.
I think there should have been some sort of music to that.
Which?
To Grizz saying that.
There should have been some sort of what music?
Background music.
Caption.
Something like just
lightning.
Something dramatic. Yeah.
All right,
we can do that.
I don't think
dum-dum-da-da-dums.
I think you've just got too used to Grizz making these statements, Gav. Like that was a big show. I think Grizz was trying to tell us something there, something real.
Yeah.
You reckon?
Yeah.
Would you call that good point number 3 of this evening, Andy?
That's blowing me away. That's blowing me away.
Wait, let's tell the lads in the WhatsApp what Grizz is revealing.
Timo Werner is Klopp's number one.
Yeah.
100%
player ever.
Yeah.
For the striker's role. I also know who's the wide forward he's after. I've mentioned it loads.
Go on, tell us then.
Gav, don't laugh. It's one of the Dembeles.
Oh yeah. Yeah, is it the Celtic one? The former Celtic one? Or is it the lad that's gone to China?
I can't disclose that. It's one of the Dembeles.
Come here. Is it Uriah Rennie?
That's all I'm saying.
Alright, okay. Alright.
When are we signing the Hood?
The Hood. Remember that? That was great, wasn't it?
Remember everyone knew everything about the Hood.
Yeah. The best.
What was the other? What was Jonathan Tah?
Oh,
that was the other one.
Him, yeah.
Jonathan Tah.
Yeah, that was proper.
We could have got Jonathan Tah instead of Van Dijk.
That was proper Dorito dust. That wasn't
it? That was
future captain Jonathan Tah.
The only thing stopping Jonathan Tah.
Do you remember? Jonathan Tah and Sacco.
No, that's complete utter bullshit. The only thing stopping Jonathan Tah from being Liverpool's captain for the next 10 years was Thiago Ilori, and that is the fucking truth.
Yeah.
Right.
Listen, Reading's number one.
We're out of here. We're done. Thanks for joining us on YouTube. Thanks for your comments. We'll try this again next week. Just to let people know, the Fatback 4 took an extended break over Christmas because we all have jobs, we all have families, we all have commitments. Certain days aren't suiting certain lads. It's just the way things go. We're going to make every effort though to try to get something out once a week, whether it be a Wednesday, a Thursday, whatever day we can find to get ourselves in. We will go and do it. So you will see the likes of Andy will drop in. You'll see Kev. Chris Horse was meant to be on tonight. Something come up at the last minute. He'll come on again. I've had Peter Phillips on to me saying he'll come on. Matt will be back at some stage. Anyone we can find, we'll get them all together. We'll just
as long as me and you's there, Gav. As long as me and you there, Gav.
Well, look, you make the good points. I keep the boat steady, not rocking, and it's all good. Andy just tells us who we're signing once he can get the cheap flights into
Transfer Guru.
And the only fella talking any fucking sense was Kev.
It's Kev. Yeah, thank you for that,
Kev. For keeping it real tonight.
Yeah, so
fair play, Kev. Well done.
I'll check my phone now for see if I got any family news.
So you better. Kev's eldest daughter is in labour as we speak, and he said if anything happens, I may need to go. I didn't know whether to
I might have to
say no, Kev. You're either committed or you're not. I just said whatever you need to do, Kev.
Cheers, guys.
Good luck with that. Good luck with that, Kev.
Grizz is a podcast for pizza slices, so you know what I mean.
I have to give a big, huge congratulations to a good pal of mine. His baby delivered today in the back of a car.
No way.
Yeah. He brought the missus into the Rotunda Hospital and she was in labour, but they thought it was going to be slow, so sent her home. And she left the hospital 10 minutes in the car. And the baby was delivered by him.
By him? Is he a fireman?
Yeah.
Well then he knows.
So he was alright.
Good stuff. All safe and sound,
What's his name?
All safe and sound. What?
Excellent.
What's his name?
Michael Hanlon.
Michael Hanlon. And did you get the baby's name?
Kira, I think.
Okay, well, listen, congratulations to Michael Hanlon, his wife, and Kira, I think. That's been us. That's been the Fatback 4.